Taking a look at page 314, a lot of times we see inverses in the form of table. And so we've got f and g are inverses, and we've got some values for f and g and f prime of g prime. Specifically, we want to know what is g prime of 2, which, bummer, isn't in our table. So we've got to do a little bit of work. 1 over f prime of g of 2. So in order to look all the way inside that, we need to know what is g of 2. Again, there's no x value of 2, so we don't exactly know what g of 2 is. But if we know this line right here says f of 1 equals 2, and f and g are inverses, then we also know that g of 2 equals 1. So we can substitute that right here. So now we've got 1 over f prime of 1. That is in our table. F prime of 1 is negative 7. So our slope for the inverse g prime at 2 is going to be 1 over negative 7. Usually in these tables, we are going to have to do a move like this. Look at one of the functions and then switch the x and y to know that the inverse function has those values. All right, looking at part E on page 314, we want to find g prime of 3, which again is in our table. We actually don't even have any values of g prime in our table this time, which doesn't matter. So what we need to do, plug that into our formula. F prime of g of 3. Again, we don't have any values of g of 3. It's not in our table. So we have to look for the outputs of function f. From the table, f of 0 equals 3. So its inverse g of 3 would be 0. So g of 3 is 0. So we have 1 over f prime of 0, which is in our table, which is 7. I think it's actually a 2. So 1 over 2 would be our g prime of 3.